The morning sun spilled through the glass walls of Blackwell Tower, turning every surface into gold. And into this blinding world walked 12-year-old Hannah Cole, clutching a lost envelope to her chest, unaware that her small act of honesty was about to shake the powerful. If you believe in compassion, hope, and second chances, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more stories. Let's begin. Hannah Cole, a thin 12-year-old girl with worn sneakers and a backpack held together by safety pins, stepped into the gleaming lobby of Blackwell Corporate Tower. Everything inside shimmered: marble floors, chrome elevator doors, people in sharp suits who moved like they owned the world. Hannah didn't belong here, and she felt it instantly. But she held a brown envelope to her chest like a shield. 3 days earlier she had found it on a splintered park bench near the river. Her grandmother told her, "Honesty is a gift you give yourself, even if no one else understands it." So Hannah ignored her hunger, tightened her grip on the envelope, and followed the receptionist's uncertain directions to the top floor. Logan Blackwell barely glanced up when Hannah entered his office. Tall, polished, and surrounded by luxury, he looked like someone far too important to be interrupted by a child. When Hannah explained why she was there, Logan's eyebrows rose, and then he laughed. A sharp, echoing laugh that filled the room and made his assistant smirk. "You walked all the way here for that?" he asked, amused. Hannah felt her cheeks burn. She tried again, explaining the bench, the long walk, how she searched the building online. But the more she spoke, the more Logan seemed entertained. The room felt colder with every heartbeat. Hannah suddenly wondered if doing the right thing even mattered when the world seemed determined to mock it. Before Logan could wave her away, the office door opened. An elderly man stepped in, thin, dignified, leaning on a wooden cane. Edward Whitmore, a respected architect, paused mid-step. His tired eyes locked on the envelope Hannah held. "Where did you get that?" he asked, his voice thin with urgency. The atmosphere shifted instantly. Logan's amusement faded. Hannah repeated her story, trying not to tremble. Edward approached as though approaching a miracle. When he opened the envelope, he gasped softly. Inside were his original hand-drawn restoration plans, months of work he feared were lost forever after slipping unnoticed from his briefcase in the park. Logan straightened awkwardly as Edward's expression filled with gratitude instead of panic. Edward explained gently that the documents were irreplaceable, representing a major city project that blended history with modern design. Losing them had nearly broken his spirit. Hannah listened quietly, unsure why he looked at her with such warmth. Edward asked about her life. She hesitated, then admitted the truth: she lived with her grandmother in a tiny apartment where the lights flickered constantly. Meals were simple, school supplies were reused, and she had walked for more than an hour to return the envelope. She said it softly, not asking for pity, just answering honestly. Logan's shoulders lowered as guilt crept in. He realized how quickly he had judged her, and how wrong he had been. Edward placed the envelope gently on the desk, then turned back to Hannah with a steadiness that made her throat tighten. "If you ever want to learn about architecture," he said, "would be honored to mentor you." He spoke of scholarships, museum visits, and helping her grandmother if needed. Hannah's breath caught. No one had ever offered her opportunity, only survival. Then Logan stepped forward, his voice softer than his reputation allowed. He apologized sincerely for his behavior, admitting he had forgotten what kindness looked like in its purest form. "You reminded me," he said, "that character isn't measured by titles or buildings. It's measured by the choices we make when no one is watching." Hannah didn't know what to say. For the first time since arriving, she felt seen. Logan insisted on walking Hannah to the lobby. Employees froze mid-sentence as the billionaire matched his pace with a small girl in worn shoes. Whispers followed them, but Logan didn't seem to notice. He spoke gently, asking about her school, her grandmother, her dreams. Hannah answered shyly, still unsure if this was real. When the elevator doors opened, Logan stepped aside respectfully and told her that the world needed more people like her, people whose goodness wasn't loud but steady. Hannah stepped outside into warm sunlight, blinking as though stepping out of a strange dream. She felt taller somehow, as though her small act had added invisible inches to her spirit. Hannah headed home unaware of the ripple she had started. Edward immediately contacted her school to arrange visits and resources. Logan spent the afternoon rewriting policies, determined to treat everyone, from executives to cleaning staff, with new humility. A partnership formed between the two men, leading to heritage projects that would one day help reshape the very neighborhoods Hannah walked through daily. But Hannah knew none of this. She simply burst into her apartment, breathless, telling her grandmother everything. Her grandmother listened, eyes warm with pride, whispering, "Kindness has a way of circling back." And as the sun faded over the city, Hannah realized she hadn't just returned an envelope. She had restored something far more fragile in the hearts of powerful men, faith in goodness itself. Her single small choice had reached farther than she could ever imagine. Thanks for being here. Like and subscribe to keep more unforgettable stories coming.